Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to tonight's episode of Kerrash Landing. As those of you who watched earlier will know, Alien is not with me, but we have an extra special guest. We have Commander Vigor. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yes, we're going to attempt, and I say attempt in the loosest sense of the term, we're going to attempt to meet up with each other and collaborate, which is more in keeping with Elite, as I was just saying. So,
in case anyone wants to watch my perspective, I'm also live streaming at twitch.tv/1viger, so you can join me there. That said, my stream doesn't appear to be working at the moment.
Oh no.
It appears Elite isn't actually going into OBS. I did run it as administrator, so I don't know why that's happening, but I will just do some very, very quick diagnosis there.
Okie dokie. We'll just give you a
Feel
chance
free
to
to
do
get
that.
on without me, and
Yeah, that's
I'll
no
keep
problem.
An eye
I mean,
on the chat and all that, and I'll join you as soon as I can.
Do you have a preference on the scenario we do? Is it...
I've got no preference. I imagine we're probably going to cover a few of them.
Yeah.
So...
Chop and change.
Yeah.
I think I'll go back into the Impeccable. I can see there's someone in the chat has just said they saw me in Impeccable. Sorry, I just lost the window there. Chronos Blood, you just saw me in the Impeccable Defense. I was just testing it. That was probably actually my son. He's 6 and he was determined he wanted to have a go on this space game thing that Dad keeps going on about. So bless him. He did quite well actually. Petra's asking, how does the pilot body look with the Oculus Rift? I'll have a quick look around actually whilst I'm waiting for you to join. Hang on, let's go into the Rift.
To restart the game. I don't know why this is happening. It's very odd. Might be because I have Fraps open as well.
Possibly conflicting, yeah, definitely. So there we go, Petrask. It's pretty awesome, the effect you can see on the body. Now, I have actually turned the graphics down really low because the improved frame rate definitely helps with the Rift, so it doesn't look as good as it can look, but it's still really, really awesome to see your body in the position it looks like it should be in. Very, 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 very odd, but cool nonetheless. So obviously, without Alien on board tonight, I'm going to be trying to check the chat in between, so I do apologise if I miss anything.
I'll be keeping an eye on the chat for you as well. So
cheers. Thank you very much.
Obviously, it should be fine.
Yeah, it's fun with the Rift on to try and do all of that at the same time. Okay, so the Impeccable has spawned in, so we've got some pirates to take out.
Oh, it looks like it's working.
Hey, excellent. So, what's your channel name is twitch.tv/1vigor, isn't it?
That is correct.
Excellent. So, if anyone wants to see the other side of the fence, then you can have them both open at the same time. Why not?
I can see the viewing figures, which basically means I can tell where the bias is.
Well, hopefully we can even that out a little bit. That'd be cool. Oh, am I getting shot at? Possibly. So I have. I was just raising a ticket with Frontier actually for the way that the Oculus switches context to the systems panel. I don't know if you noticed when you turn your head to the right. Well, when I was turning my head to the right, the context panels will switch over so that your buttons are automatically associated to that systems panel. Do you know what I mean?
I hadn't noticed that with your stream, but I had noticed when I was doing the head look thing in game, obviously, because there's that functionality without the Oculus Rift as well.
Yeah.
I did notice that as I was panning my head around the cockpit, I did see that. Actually, I just realised I joined a completely different scenario to you. My mind's just on autopilot. I just go straight into ethics and credits.
Yeah, I think that one is definitely the favourite amongst the community. I think it's like I said though. I mean, it definitely feels more elite, that one. It feels more like how the game should be.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get the drop on me. Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, I can see a player in the same instance.
Hopefully that's
I'm
me.
not sure if it's you just yet.
It might be actually. I can see one other green.
Two. There's two. No, it's Jataska Aeon and Alphabaca 90266.
90210. Yeah, I can see it. I can see Commander Malcolm
Malcolm Tucker.
No, can't see that one at the moment.
I've yet to see Alphabacker 1337 or Alphabacker 9001 or anyone with a particularly meaningful number, but maybe one day. It's
I
not
do know.
discount
I think
possibility.
there is a thread on the forum actually started to associate usernames with real people, so that we can find out who they are.
All right. I haven't been on the forums much at all. Well, as far as I know, a lot of the discussion on there has just been, loads of people saying, "Oh, alpha's shit," or "Alpha, sorry,
No, I've put the
alpha's
mature
rubbish,"
flag
or
on my stream now, so it's no problem.
yeah, so do I. But I'll try and keep keep the expletives to a minimum. But yeah, there's a lot of the discussion on there I've been deliberately trying to avoid.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who are saying one thing. I mean, it's kind of annoying, really. It seems to be people who don't understand exactly how the alpha process works with that sort of thing. It's not a demo. You're not buying like a product which is like complete and you're trying it out. You're not kind
Yeah,
of like,
exactly.
it's a privilege. You're getting the opportunity to kind of jump in and assist with the development of a product which is still not out yet. So you've got to think about it that way. Come on, come on.
Ooh. I've been using voice attack a bit recently.
Oh yeah,
I got that working. I've decided not to use that tonight because I thought it might interfere with the conversation
yeah,
idea.
that could get tricky. Oh, that feels tight.
It's very helpful because it means I don't have to. Because especially when I run out of buttons on my joystick, it means I can still do commands without having to feel over to my keyboard and
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I will have to give it a try at some point. I've been meaning to do it, but I've downloaded it. I've got it sat there installed, and I just haven't had a chance to actually even run it yet.
I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat as well as shooting stuff. So
I can see one person getting shot
have
at now.
Frontier released any figures on the max number of real players per instance? I think there was a number, wasn't there?
I think the initial estimate from Frontier was going to be about 32 players per instance.
Was that players though, or was that ships? I imagine there would be quite a lot of AI.
Yeah, there was some further clarification that was they did mean players by that, so there could potentially be more NPCs mixed in amongst that, which is going to be pretty hectic. I mean, when you look at something like the Endless War scenario, that's already quite crazy. Yeah. So having 32 plus ships flying around is going to be pretty hectic. But whoa, it's a ship flying away in there. Never mind. So there has been some clarification that we're going to be seeing more things like that on there. So
I'm trying to remember what the buttons I had for subsystem selection were. Are you there, Kerrash? Have you muted yourself?
We have a minor issue at the moment.
All right.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to check the chat. So we've just lost the capital ship has been destroyed. There we go. Yeah, so that was right. The 32 player limit is what's been announced. But I think part of this alpha is going to be testing this network stability and actually trying to figure out exactly how many players can we put up in an instance. I haven't actually seen a physical limit on it at the moment, any sort of cap. So I think we're going to find out much later, actually, once they come back, and it's like, from testing in alpha we found that we can support X number of players, so that's going to be interesting when we get that information back.
I'm not sure they've got anywhere close to reaching that 32 player maximum.
No, I haven't seen. I think the most human players I've seen in any one instance is about a dozen or so, I think. But then we were all working together to try and find each other and meet up, so
Just
trying to see
Right.
if
I
there's any.
don't think this instance is going to be over very soon, so I might just quit out of this one. Where are you going
Okay.
next, or are you jumping back in?
We'll give ethics and credits a go. See if we can meet up in there. That'd be a good shape.
Sure. Okay, I'm joining ethics and credits.
Excellent. Okie dokie.
Kronos Blood's asking. Sorry, I'm doing this quite out of order, but Kronos
No.
Blood's asking if there's any Oculus Rift news on the retail model.
They're still kind of looking at end of year, I think, here, like Q3, Q4. So it's still a bit touch and go. I think, with Mr. Carmack on the team, it's probably very much going to be out when he's happy with it, sort of attitude. Bless him, though. He does have this kind of perfectionism kind of streak in him that it's got to be right before he's happy. And I don't blame him. It has to be. It has to be good, particularly in terms of VR. If it's not quite right, then people are going to be jumping down on it and slamming it outright, and it just won't gain that popularity, that traction that it's going to need to get in order to be mainstream.
No doubt part of the reason that it's getting so much, so many rave reviews is because it's so early in its development cycle. The final thing isn't out yet, because if the final product was what people have now, they certainly wouldn't be having a final thing. At least I would imagine they probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
It seems incomplete.
Yeah, I know the dev kit one. I don't think is available to order anymore, because I think the second dev kit is due for release imminently, I think. So I know there's a couple of people out there that have just about receiving their dev kit one, and now they've just found out that you're not going to be able to get it anymore.
You say that. I think Grant ordered another. I think he ordered his own Oculus Rift either earlier today or really recently. But
yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh right.
Yeah, bless him. He just got the notification so that it was about to be shipped, and then he read the story about how the dev kit 1 is not being manufactured anymore because they're about to get the dev kit 2 set up. It's just
So
bad.
what's the difference with the dev kit 2 then? Have they added more features? Has the resolution been improved? I'll be honest, I haven't been watching the news on that.
Yep, both really. The main thing that everyone's talking about obviously is going to be 1080p resolution, so it's going to be roughly double. That's really makes a difference actually. I've had a go with one of the 1080p prototypes, and it's really good actually. Text is a lot more readable at a much bigger range and all that stuff. But the main thing for me, the really interesting thing, is it's got a little motion tracking camera on it now, so it can track the position of your head side to side and forward and back and all that sort of thing. And it's not just makes it more immersive and realistic, but it actually it's really going to help with things like motion sickness and all that, because the slightest little thing, like at the moment, like if I look down at my body and I turn my head, I rotate my head, it kind of does this weird thing where it doesn't actually compensate for my neck, which leans to the side slightly. It just rotates on the point. So that is a little bit nausea-inducing now that you've got the pilot's body there, and it kind of makes it a bit odd. It doesn't naturally match up with what your senses are telling you, so it kind of gives you a bit of an odd feeling. But now you don't notice it unless you are specifically looking at your body and spinning your head around, so it's not a big issue. It's just one of those things that it'll need to go in before the game's finished, I think. So that's the main feature they've got on there. But the thing that I'm really interested in is one of the silliest little things that people are not going to think is important, but it actually makes a huge difference. Is I think they're using now a screen which uses is it low persistence? I can't remember the exact term, but they use this screen that instead of keeping the image on for an extended period of time, it kind of flashes the image really brightly at you for a fraction of a millisecond, and it just kind of it messes with the way that your vision system works, so that you actually get a clearer image with less motion blur, and they've only been able to do that now that they've got better quality screens in there. So that's
certainly interesting.
Yeah, that's some of the cool things which have been put in actually, and it's kind of hard to justify having to wait for these features. They don't seem like mind-blowing features, but they all add up to making it much more comfortable and believable experience. So.
It just makes me more and more excited for the final thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I found a player. Who is this?
Oh, could
And
that be
it's
you?
Commander Kerrash.
Yay! I was just looking around and
Hey!
thinking, I am all on my own. There's not even an anaconda here. I was thinking, this is just boring.
Yeah, I had a few instances like that, and
So I think
I've been jumping around. But yes, here we are.
yes, even though we found each other,
Ooh.
Whoa! There's an asteroid there.
That was close.
Oh, I can see your vapor trails. You did get pretty close there. You got between me and the asteroid. Ah, dear. Oh, I haven't got my lights on. Let me turn my lights on. The obligatory commander flash and wiggle, I think, is without the in-game text chat, this kind of like vocabulary is joined up, which is the yay, flash my lights and spin around. Hey, I'm friendly. I'm not going to shoot you. But unfortunately, we don't have any damn NPCs in this scenario, so I'm not sure.
Maybe it's the best possible scenario for a duel.
I suppose it could be. I mean, if we pick a direction, if we choose the nav beacon maybe, and pick a direction, go 5k's out, and then hunt each other down.
5,000 paces.
Exactly, and then turn around and shoot.
All right, I'll head over to the nav beacon then.
Okie dokie. I'll try and get 5 clicks out from it.
Ooh. Almost hit that then. Alright, how about one of us head 5k towards the planet and the other one head 5k away from it?
Oh, okay, no problem.
Seems like the easiest way to do that. Which way are you heading? Towards it? Away from it?
Actually, I'm halfway away from it anyway, so I'll...
Oh, right, okay, I'll go 5k away then. Sorry, towards the planet.
Cool.
Probably start. I imagine it would be 5k. I'll have to look behind me to make sure.
That's another advantage of the Rift. I'll just look over my shoulder. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I can turn sort of looking around the cockpit on, but I can't look, 180 degrees behind me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
even if I could, I wouldn't be able to see a distance indicator on it. So I'll just have to go 90 degrees upwards and look out my sunroof.
Yeah, that's still one of the things that, I'm not sure. I think I raised a ticket for it, but it was one of the things that I wanted to get sorted. Was this? I mean,
I'm 8k away. Whoops.
Well, I'm a little bit further away myself, so that's no problem.
Okay, what shall we just say now then?
Yeah, fly towards the beacon. Well, give me a second actually, because I've accidentally put silent mode on. My shields are knackered. Yeah, I was just thinking in Frontier Elite 2, if you had a target selected, even if it went off to the side of your screen, you still had that distance indicator on it, which was incredibly useful. It was really, really useful. But now you've got this. As soon as it goes outside of your HUD view, you lose that distance indicator, and it kind of makes it really difficult to track what's going on. But there we go. Right. Okay. I think I'm all warmed up again.
One thing I noticed with the HUD, which is quite interesting actually, and okay, should we just go now? And
Yeah, sure.
Oh crap! Sorry, my phone is pretty much broken. I dropped it in the bath earlier.
Yeah,
and I got it out as quickly as I could, but it looked like it was dead right there, but it seems to have recovered miraculously. It appears to have, well, more or less.
Dried out.
The camera's got some condensation on it, and I think the lock button is pretty much done in, and it just jumped onto voice control mode for a moment there. I was just get rid of that. But
oh dear, some contacts might be.
Yeah, I managed to scoop my SIM card out as quickly as I could. But yeah, I noticed something quite cool with the HUD the other day, which was if if someone shoots your canopy,
yeah,
it can sort of shatter,
yeah,
and be sucked into space now, which is really cool. Yeah, if that happens, then oh crap, I think you've got a head start on me there. But
sorry.
Yeah, you can't actually see the HUD, the sort of holographic icons around other ships.
Yes.
That was really cool to find out. I love that. Oh, you've gone straight for my life support, I see.
Actually, I didn't target that specifically, but...
Oh, did you not? It's what a lot of people certainly are going for because it's a really weak target and it can just cripple your opponent so quickly.
Yeah, I have noticed that seems to be the snuffler tactic. My drives have malfunctioned. That's not a good. That's not good.
Oh, they'll do more than that.
Yeah, they're gonna blow. Okay, this is like
There you go. Your drives are dead.
completely dead. Wonderful. I've got no maneuverability whatsoever.
That's
I
fine. My
surrender.
life's so.
You're gonna go pop in a second anyway.
Oh, no, there goes my power plant.
Yay!
Oopsie.
And I can't even maneuver quickly enough to follow you there. My drives are completely shafted. What have I got?
Oh,
Offline.
there we go.
Shield
My
generation.
phone is still doing voice controls. It still thinks I'm giving it commands. No, I'm not. That's really weird. The speaker wasn't working earlier. Hold on, let me just go and turn it off. This is ridiculous.
I'll just check the questions a bit quickly. Sorry if I've missed anyone in the meantime. Where did we get to?
That's
Chronosbud
absolutely
there.
ridiculous.
Chronosbud saying his finger keeps hovering over the buy button for the dev kit. Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Petrus, yeah, 1080p. Wireless has been talked about, but it's something they do want to do, but at the moment there's been no confirmation of wireless. I'm going to pop back into ethics and credits there, Viger, if you want to. Once your life support explodes,
exploded. So
yeah. I'll.
It's just a bit weird
hopefully
that
we'll
just
have some
running out of
NPCs.
oxygen causes you to blow up. But,
Obviously, that will be different in the full game. There we go. Locutus at Wolf359. You missed the very start of tonight's episode. Oh, no worries, that's okay. Who's talking to Kerrash? It's definitely not Alien. Yes, we have Commander 1 Vigor, and if you want to check out his side of things, he's streaming at the same time on twitch.tv/1Vigor, so you can check both of us out there. I've got some
and with
NPCs.
a fifth of your viewing count.
Well, hopefully we can level that out. We can get everyone who's watching my stream can just have two windows, just snap them to the side of each other. It'd be wonderful. And,
Oh, who's this? So you've got NPCs, I've got no one, but a player has just joined. Who is it? It is Corvus Munin.
Oh, I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. I'll give a few more seconds to one player, I think, here. So this is one of the things that I think we have mentioned it a few times, but it was not immediately obvious that you've got the hollow targets on the scanner in the center are human players, and the filled-in ones are NPCs, in case anyone was wondering there. I have got Commander Tomashin.
Another player has just jumped in.
Ooh, excellent. Maybe we can get a few people in there.
Getting busier.
Oh, Petrus answered Loki just straight after that. Sorry, I am trying to catch up on the chat. There is a delay, and obviously with the Rift on, I can't see the chat on there.
I got an alpha backer. Alpha backer 58039.
Cool.
Do you know if that's a familiar number? I, for one, can't just memorize random 5-digit numbers that I see.
No, I'm losing track of them now. I've seen quite a few, so I'm just going to scan down through the questions. Diddly.
There are no NPCs in this instance at all.
Deathwatch there saying you don't always have a 360 view, there's always a blind spot. Yeah, the blind spot at the moment seems to be the chair behind me. Which, as soon as you turn around and look at the chair, you can't see anything anymore, which is a shame. You can't see it. It was nice in the early alphas, you could see the door and everything where you get out, but now you can't see, it's blocked away.
Also downwards.
And downwards, yes, can't see anything down on the floor. Just checking there's no more questions I've missed.
Oh, is that Snuffler's Wingman?
Oh, Fiery Toad there, thank you. Fiery Toad has just put up a link there to multitwitch.tv there, which would allow you to watch both our streams side by side.
I had no idea that was... Does it also merge the chat streams? Because that could be...
No, actually, but that would be pretty cool if we can do a bit more of a collab with a few other people. That'd be excellent.
I'll have a quick look.
What's the circle with the red dot?
Oh, it's got it on sort of two tabs.
589.
No, okay. I think I will close
Ooh,
that.
Starkiller.
I'll just keep an eye on them. Oh, Starkiller's here. Why are you watching his stream and not mine?
I think he's watching both. Isn't he? Right.
How very rude.
Right, I'm going to jump back in now, see if I can find you.
But Penthux on your stream chat has informed me that 58039 may be Snuffler's wingman.
Ooh.
And he's here in the same instance as me. He's looking fairly non-aggressive.
Just follow me
But
around.
then again, okay. Stalk him,
Do you know, I felt really awful the other night. I was literally just following another commander around. No bad intentions whatsoever. It was just following them around, seeing what they were doing. And they hit an asteroid in front of me. And because they just came to a short, sharp stop, I accidentally just completely slammed into the back of them, and it was enough to finish them off, and they exploded right in front of me. I felt absolutely awful. I was like, there was nothing I could do or say. I was like, sorry, just. So whoever that was, I'm sorry. If you're watching, I apologise. It wasn't intentional.
That's the kind of thing where in the final game you'll pick up their escape pod and frantically apologise
like,
to them.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Where can I take you? I'll take you back to anywhere. I don't mind.
But then again, saying that, he might hail you and start saying, "Oi, what do you think you're doing?" He'll start calling you out on it before the asteroid even happens.
Yeah, that would be just my luck, I think.
Not sure if it's 58039 or 58029. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that the text seems a little bit cropped now, actually. I don't know if that's something that changed in between versions, but...
Yeah, that does appear to be the case. I noticed there was certainly a change between 2.1 and 2.2 to do with the text below the holograms. That's for sure. But I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was, because I thought the distance to that ship looks a bit different. I didn't know that was there, but then I thought, well, I always knew the distance, and I didn't know where else it could have been. So maybe I'm just
No, I think they definitely have. They've tweaked the font slightly. I mean, definitely on the Rift, it makes a huge difference on the left and right panels. The text is. I think they've just made the point size a little bit more dense, or maybe bolded it or something slightly. But it makes all of the difference.
Yeah.
On the Rift, it really does make it stand out now. You don't have to squint to read it, which is nice.
I can't wait until LaveCon when I get to try your Oculus Rift again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I've been chatting to Alan about that. We're going to try and set that up so we can get as many people as we can to play that. That's going to be great fun. I can't wait to go. I was just thinking of all the cool things we could do. I'm hoping. I think it would be good fun if we can do a little bit of a live stream directly from LaveCon. I think that would be great fun.
Ooh.
That would be.
Yes.
I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but yes.
Well, I'm certainly interested.
That'd be great just to go around. No one has to appear on camera if they don't want to, but I think it would be good fun. All right, I'm just gonna fly away from there for a second and check the chat.
Starkiller was just saying, I've made a terrible mistake. I've opened James's stream as well.
Echo.
So, you can... Fiery Toad had a link to multitwitch.tv where you can watch both streams on one window. I don't really know how the sound works on there, but that's certainly something you can do if you want to watch both, and I'm sure they've found a way of making that work. So I'm not sure if Fiery Toad can post the link again, or whether you could just sort of go to multitwitch.tv and find it, but that's certainly an option.
I think I can pull that out. Let me just see if I can do that. Let me just pull that.
Oh, and the Alpha Backer person I was following just thought, do you know what? I've had enough.
It's like, give up. Run away.
Disconnect. Cool. I'm going to have to change instance.
Yeah, Petrus there just answered the question. Sorry, I wasn't sure what the question was, but yeah, have you noticed that just to the top right of the scanner, you've got the little radar mapper icon. Have you noticed that?
Say that again.
Directly above the velocity indicator on the right-hand side of the scanner there.
I'm not actually in game at the moment.
Oh, okay. There's a little circle.
The velocity indicator. And there's.
Yeah, there's a little circle like with a crosshair inside it, and the red dot in the middle
Oh,
points you
yeah,
to the nearest point
that's...
of interest, which is the planet in this case. So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully, when we
Ooh,
have place.
NPCs, a player, a single solitary player. Who do we have? Not you.
Damn.
That
Damn.
was anticlimactic. But there's someone else here.
Oh, Starkiller saying he can't load your chat for some reason. It's not loading correctly. Okay.
Oh. Well, my chat's blank anyway. Max Dealgood. That's not a player. I'm
Hoping.
sure I saw another player indicator.
So I have noticed the little trick. There seems to be this thing. If you go outside of your scanner range on it, then it can spawn back in different groups of people. So I'm kind of hoping that will work. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I see a couple of NPCs on there.
Somebody new. I think there's 3 players now in this instance. I think they keep sort of moving out of my scanner range.
Houston, we have a problem. The nav
Do we?
beacon has just disappeared in my instance. I think I'm gonna have to reset this one. Yeah, this instance is totally bugged. Let's try that one again. Hopefully, now you're in an instance.
And there's
I
no
can
one there
spawn.
to blow it up.
Yeah, it's just kind of pop disappeared. And we've got a crash. Yeah, there was definitely something wrong with my version of the game there.
Oh.
I'll just restart that really quick.
What do you think's going to happen in... Oh, there's some gunfire going on. I think that might be bug chip because he's firing at nothing. But, yeah, what do you think's going to happen in the final game if someone blows up a nav beacon? Because does that mean that you can't get to the same instance as someone else? Oh, sorry. I mean, does that mean that someone wouldn't be able to sort of
to find it as well?
Approach that system to hyper jump in?
I honestly don't know, because I know there's been talk in the DDF about nav beacons being something that you yourself can put down for other people to find, and almost leave like a breadcrumb trail, effectively. But I don't know how they're going to handle that kind of, allowing people to blow that up, because really it could happen.
I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, definitely.
With the number of players that are going to be in the game, someone's going to think, do you know what happens if I shoot this?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep shooting this thing until. Oh, look, it's gone. Yeah, I imagine you could do it. I imagine it would be a minor crime or something, which would make things interesting. You've got to discourage people from doing that sort of thing. Oh, I've just noticed one of the oogly little things. Actually, the loading screen, you've probably noticed, has been changed to be an actual 3D model.
Yeah.
And with the Rift on, you can actually look around whilst it's loading, which is really cool.
Oh my god. I've noticed something where it doesn't, sometimes it won't quite load properly, and the sort of, or I don't know exactly what it is, but the light source that's shining on that 3D model, yeah, you can see that.
Yeah,
I'm actually just looking at your stream now. Yeah, you could see some sort of, I don't know,
Yeah,
it looked a bit like the lens flare from the sun or something.
Yeah, it's like it's being lit from the bottom left corner, so that it's
Yeah.
it's definitely really awesome. Right, I have got a whole bunch of NPCs. I'm not seeing any other human players at the moment, though.
I will head towards the nav beacon because I've gone out the way a bit. I'm about 4 kilometers away.
Okie dokie. I am pretty much right on it. Let me see. Yeah, I'm about 150.
Loads of people
meters.
complaining in your chat that there's no bobblehead. If you want a bobblehead, come to my stream. I have a bobblehead.
Yay. Have you still got the Christmas tree on?
Damn it, I crashed.
Oh no.
No, I've changed it back to Toku.
Oh, I've just put Toku back. I just noticed that thing on there. I turned the bobblehead off. Yeah, I mean, I was literally playing around with the graphics options early on to try and make it the frame rate much higher. And I know a lot of people say it's like, oh yeah, frame rate. Why do you need frame rate sort of thing? Anything over this is meh. It makes a huge difference on the Rift. That's all I'm going to say. It's not just makes it from kind of just about playable to, oh, that's really nice and shiny. It makes it from, yeah, that's making me feel ill, to, oh, actually, I didn't notice that making me feel ill at all. So
I've heard something somewhere that apparently the human eye has roughly, if you could term it as a frame rate, it would be about 60 frames a second.
yeah, around the 60 to 70
that
mark.
Might be wrong. I'm not too sure.
No, 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 no. I've read the same thing. I think it's around the 60 to 70 mark, and it it kind of varies from person to person, but yeah, it does make a big difference. In something like this, because your eyes are noticing all of the variations, the differences. So you do need it. Phil Pendux there. The bobblehead is a waste of pixels. That's kind of that's why I turned it off. I was thinking, well, if I turn it off, it's like, how many more frames a second can I have? It's probably like, how many milliseconds per frame I'm going to get. It's nothing but...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a massive
Not a
difference
great
to your
deal,
computing
no,
power.
no. Starkiller there saying,
complex algorithms it's going to have to go through to determine the vector of the head motion.
Well, I'll just simulate it myself. There we go. Yeah, Starkiller there saying he thinks the nav beacon should be unbreakable, so no one could destroy it.
But that might ruin some immersion.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have the realism crowd jumping down your throat, aren't you? And Fiery Toad's going to be jumping in the multiplayer. Yay! We're going to carry on trying to get into ethics and credits because I think that's the most fun. Okie dokie.
So which scenario do you find to be the most enjoyable? Because obviously ethics and credits, you said earlier, it was the most elite, but obviously it's not very fleshed out at the moment. So
yeah.
Which one do you spend most of your time on?
I mean, probably this one. I know that's really cliched, and everyone spends their time on this one. But I think that the most fun I have had has been in the impeccable defense scenario. Literally reenacting that trailer we saw with the flying through the canyon in the middle of the capital ship. That is just immense fun, actually. Especially if you pull it off at high speed, it's really enjoyable. But yeah, definitely this one for me. This seems more like what Elite's all about. So it's. I could happily sit here and hunt around for hours. Do you know, as there's no players, I'm just going to start causing trouble. I think I've got to at least make my money back on the ship.
Something I often find myself doing is flying through a mining laser, just so I don't get a bounty for shooting at the miners. Although it's a bit of an exploit, and I shouldn't really be doing it.
Yeah, that won't be that way forever.
No, I imagine not. I imagine mining lasers won't really count as weapons. Or actually, I might be wrong, because they do damage your shields.
Yeah. I mean, in the Frontier Elite 2, my favourite weapon ended up being the mining laser, because although it was, just like a pulse weapon, it had one shot like every second or two. It was very, very slow weapon, but it was incredibly powerful. It was designed to blast away chunks of meteors, so if you managed to pick someone off, it was like the sniper of that game. It was very, very effective. Oop, I just destroyed that canister. What an idiot. There we go. Damn. Who's closest? Oh dear.
Just two anacondas, that's all I'm close to. And I'm not going to fight one of those on my own.
Probably not the best idea, no. I thought I saw some laser fire then. You do tend to try and keep an eye out for that, don't you? It's like if you see that little orange streak in the corner of your eye, it's like, ooh, is that a is that a fight going on there?
Ooh. Almost crashed into someone again. Whoa. I do that way too often. The almost crashing into one. Oh, it's Ixaga, and we've got into another staring competition.
Uh-oh.
That's fine, I'll just wait. He's moving, though. This didn't happen before.
Let's see where he goes.
What guns he's got a pulse laser. I might try and take it out. He's not looking at me right now. He's not looking directly at me. This could be my chance. I'll do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing no damage to him at all.
Oh, maybe he's glitched out.
He's rotating very, very slowly on the spot.
Yeah, maybe he's...
Yeah, I think he's glitched.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, and the mining ship whose drive I completely demolished has just come back over to me and said, "Oh, you're gonna finish the job."
Limped on over.
He's sitting right next to Exargo. Speeding away. I don't think I'm ever going to catch it.
Concentration kicks, and you can tell when I'm gone quiet, I'm concentrating. I'm just trying to scoop this little canister. Come on, come on. I'm definitely not sure whether or not the proximity alarm should come on when you're scooping a canister. It seems a bit obvious, doesn't it? It's like, yes, I know I'm close to something. I want to be close to something. That's kind of the point. This is still really surreal scene.
Speaking of canisters.
Oh,
I also noticed that in 2.2 they've now made it so there's no delay between pushing the cargo scoop button and it actually being deployed.
oh,
There
really?
used to be a very slight delay as you were sort of extending it.
Oh, I
But that's
didn't
not the
notice
case anymore. It's instant. Instantaneous.
that. Come on, sell my cargo.
I just clonked it. Whoops. Is there any downfall to having your scoop out all the time?
At the moment, I don't think so. I think when we can start scooping off the upper atmospheres of planets, then I think it's going to affect your aerodynamics, so you may have to retract it in that case. But at the moment, no, I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. Just leave it open.
I was thinking it might change how easily someone could destroy your cargo scoop. Actually, no,
makes
because you
sense.
can only go for the cargo hatch.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I mean, it is pretty much just over the cargo bay itself, so it would make sense that that would happen.
Yeah, because when it's extended, it's a bigger target.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just going to reload the scenario. I'll check the chat in between. Starkiller there. The human eye on average cannot see any difference above 60 frames per second. Yeah, on average. There are a few people which are very hypersensitive to those sorts of things, but yeah, on average you're right there, about around that 60 to 70 mark as most humans. Certain nav beacons should not be destroyable, Deathwatch is saying there. Yeah, I think there's going to be some cases where, you know, if there's like a tutorial type location for people to start off, it's going to be very difficult to have something if people can come in, troll it and destroy it. So it's I can see arguments for both sides of that, really.
But so if some navigation beacons should be able to be destroyed and some shouldn't, where would you say that they should be
Well, I think
destroyable?
Starkiller just hit the nail on the head there. I think if they're ones that players have added in, then, you know, you could have this kind of ongoing feud where, like, someone's trying to leave beacons, someone's trying to destroy them, and so player-generated beacons, I think, probably you could get away with arguing that
Right, yeah.
that's fair game. But anything which is generated by the system or added in by Frontier Developments or something as some sort of real, you know, like this is an indicator for the central point of this instance, I think that probably is going to have to stay pretty much
I guess that
indestructible.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's that kind of that balance between, yeah, it's a game. At the end of the day, there needs to be some static thing in there so people know what they're doing. But there you go. Oh, you apparently there.
Going for a canister. Going for it. Come on.
What's that?
Damn it.
Phil
I don't-
Tentux there is saying that you can destroy the beacons. I have to try.
Yeah,
boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
I've destroyed one before.
Oh, yes,
I
actually.
certainly gave it a go in single player, and it was possible. And there was one point where I tried it in multiplayer and it didn't work, but that might have just been, you know, the same sort of glitchy thing that stops you from destroying spaceships. Because I tried it again and it did work. So
Yeah, I'm blowing it up. It's got 50% hull at the moment, so it is definitely.
it's got
possible.
quite a bit of hull. It's certainly more armored than a Sidewinder.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, this thing. Let's destroy.
Then again, I guess it's, you know, it's an unmanned beacon, so it doesn't need any sort of,
Yeah.
or it doesn't need much hollow space inside, so it could basically just be solid metal with a bit of circuitry in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And some antenna.
I just blew it to hell. Well, there you go. They are destroyable then, so that's answered that question. I think initially in the Alpha 1.1 and 1.0, they were not destroyable at all. You could not get rid of them.
In
They are
1.0, they were.
Were they? I'd never actually...
Yeah.
Oh, never... Perhaps I just...
I certainly gave it a go because I targeted it and I noticed it had a hull percentage just like everything else.
So I honestly I just wasn't that persistent, obviously.
You tried so many things over all your live streams, and you
I never actually
tried
tried that. Never thought of doing that.
Surprising. That was one of the first things I did when I was just sort of playing around.
I'm gonna shoot it. So one of the things I've been meaning to ask you, and I know there's a lot of talk on it, I mean, especially with people complaining about things. There's a lot of talk about Frontier not doing enough to engage the community. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, I'm quite happy with everything they've been doing. It's not been complete overkill, and it's not been. I think they've done it quite well. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, they've certainly not been deadly silent.
No. I mean, they're not letting on about things, like if there's anything going wrong internally, or if they're having difficulties, or with things not working and having to delay stuff. They're not telling anyone that. In a lot of ways, I don't blame them. I mean, you just
there's no need.
Yeah, you don't do that sort of thing regardless of who you are. I mean, Microsoft don't do that in something for Windows. They don't tell you that this patch is going to be late. It's like they just get on with it and get it done as soon as they can, sort of thing. So I don't know why people have got this odd expectation that they should be doing more. I think that they're doing more than enough, to be honest.
Also, with the amount of time they're spending on the development of the game, they're already behind schedule. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me saying that, because it's just a fact at this point. But and I think if they were going to engage much more with the community, it's just going to slow down the development of the game even further, which it's two things people want, isn't it? They want more interaction, but at the same time they want
the game done sooner.
They want the game to be released. So
there's only
sort of, make up your mind, because there's only a certain number of people there. They're not the biggest game development company.
Yeah, and there's only so many hours in the day. Yeah, exactly. And I think they've been pulling all-nighters to get this stuff out to us. So. In all fairness, they've been going above and beyond for everyone, so I think it's a bit unfair that some of these people expect them to do more. I mean, when you look at something like the obligatory comparison to Star Citizen, I think it's like all the stuff they're doing. They're prolifically posting videos and all these things they're doing and stuff like that. And to be honest, I'm in on I backed Star Citizen, so I keep getting these updates and notifications about the things they're doing. It's just too much for me, It's like they're just constantly posting stuff. It's like just
too much.
Just get on with it. It's like I don't mind that they're doing these things, but it's just like you're not actually progressing anything useful, are you?
Well, I didn't back Star Citizen, so I don't know how many updates have been coming out, but
I seem to get notifications every day. There's something else on there.
They're a completely different development company with completely different, they're a completely different situation to Frontier Developments.
Exactly. I mean, they've got 10 times the budget. They've probably got 10 times the staff and everything. So, yeah, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So comparing Frontier to them, I mean, even though their games are of a similar nature and they ran a Kickstarter at the same time, by no means does it mean that they should be running the development of their game in the same way and to be interacting with the community in the same way. But that being said, Frontier is still interacting with the community. Yeah. They did that really fun photography competition, didn't they? There's a screenshot photography competition.
Yeah, and I thought that was nice.
That was nice to keep the community occupied for a little bit longer.
Exactly, yeah, and I think that's that could end up being a regular thing, because I know they mentioned that very early on in the game development. Actually, they were thinking about this idea of there being an ongoing photography contest, and it's nice that they've kind of kicked that off already. And I think I wasn't expecting that, actually. I thought that was going to be coming much later, so it was nice for them to do that early on.
A lot of games do it, don't they? I think Star Wars: The Old Republic did that, or is maybe still doing that. I don't think it's weekly. I think it's occasional, and I haven't been following the development of that game for a while. But that was something I definitely noticed that, and I think Neverwinter had something like that. It's something a lot of games have done, and the fact that they're willing to start doing something like that for alpha.
Yeah.
And you think, I'm just thinking now the kind of things that people are going to come up with when the full game is released. The possibilities are mind blowing. With the procedural generation, you think.
Tell me about it. So I was just sat here earlier on today, and I was trying to explain this to my little boy because he just sees the menu options. He goes, "Is that how many levels there are?" Bless him. He's looking at it and he thinks that's what it is. And I said, "Well, at the moment, yeah, but so you said you see all those little white dots. When it's finished, you can go to every one of those." And his face just dropped. It was a picture, He was like, "Seriously?" He goes. I was like, "Yeah, And it's like, and I had to kind of think for myself. I was like, "Well, yeah, actually, that is pretty mind-blowing when you think about that. It's like you see all those little white speckles on there. Yeah, that's going to be a place you can visit. Oh my god, that is going to be insane. That is going to be such a huge game. It's going to make GTA look like Solitaire, It's like... it's going to be madness. But no, I really can't wait. And I think that's the one thing, I always get over-enthusiastic about these things. I'm always getting really, really... hyped up when I'm explaining these things. It's like, but I can see the potential of things. A lot of people see games and they see how they are now and they complain about the problems and the bugs and everything else like that. I see what could come out of it, and that just blows my mind. What we are going to get soon. TM, as Michael Brooks would put it. Come on.
It reminds me of a game, and I'll be completely honest. I'll come out and say it's not a good game, but a game I found a little while ago called Shores of Hazaron.
Oh yeah.
It's do you know of that one?
No, I haven't seen that one actually. Sorry.
It's kind of like Elite, or at least in this particular version of Elite, where you can visit, you see a star in the sky, you can go to it.
Excellent.
But it's also kind of like Spore in the way that okay, the way it works is you create an alien race and a faction.
Okay.
And you can just join a faction as well, and that faction's got a home planet. And the ideal way to start is to start your own race and start your own planet.
Okay.
And it sort of leaves you on your own in the middle of the wilderness on this planet with loads of strange alien life forms. You've got to build up a sort of city, advance through different ages, and eventually create a rocket so that you can go to the moon. And it's really nice the way it sort of develops into it really feels like you're making progress. When you get somewhere, it feels like you've accomplished something.
Yeah, I know.
And eventually you make a starship and you can go and visit other star system lore, and they've got sort of ring worlds like Halo.
Oh, cool.
And the premise of the game is absolutely incredible, and I would really enjoy playing it if they didn't do server-side player movement.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. So
because it's just so jerky and it's horrible to play.
Yeah, just broken at the moment. I mean, is it like an alpha kind of state, or is it a...
I don't know. I played it about 2 years ago, and I got to this point where I built my own rocket, and I was talking to other players, and I was saying, what else do I need to get to the moon? And they said, okay, you need a spacesuit, you need air, that sort of stuff. And I was slowly gathering all these things, and eventually a guy came to my planet with a little shuttle that he'd taken out of his big starship in orbit, and he said, "Hey, do you want this?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, so I'll take that." Eventually, it ran out of fuel. And I didn't have the technology to refuel it. I also didn't have the technology to repair it, and I couldn't put it on a landing pad anywhere, so it was slowly taking damage.
Oh no!
And eventually it just blew up, and I was stranded on the moon.
Oh, right.
Without my rocket. But I'd done all that with this server-side player movement, and I was sort of coping with it, but eventually, I sort of gave up because it wasn't really very playable at that point. And then about a year later, I thought, surely they fixed it by now, and they hadn't.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I don't think it's going to be a game that's fixed, unfortunately, because it's absolutely incredible. The graphics are shockingly bad,
as most of these things tend to be. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the planets are made of sort of 100-meter-ish sort of panels of ground, which are literally 2 polygons. I'm not even joking. It's 2 triangles that are put at a sort of angle to each other to make it look like a hill.
Oh dear.
And that's the extent of the planetary graphics. But I guess that makes sense when you think, they've got an entire galaxy and you can explore each star system with no loading times in between each one.
Yeah.
And it was a really sort of cheap sort of, I guess you could call it an indie game. But yeah, it's just a shame that was the case, because I could have coped with it. I could have coped with the graphics, and the gameplay was brilliant. It was just that one feature.
Yeah, that kind of breaks it. Well,
Yeah.
that does sound intriguing, though. I will have to have a look at that. I think I just looked down at the timer. Actually, I think I'm gonna put a break in the stream now so that I can crop it up later, and I'll take a quick 5-minute break and meet up with everyone after. So catch you all soon.